Broadcasting live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report alongside Seth Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino on a non-weather morning. No incidents at Clare Court. No meeting of jurisdictions outside the window. So hopefully things will be good. Yesterday, the turf was yielding at 4:31, and at 6:17 it was good. Okay, there you have it.
And the day ended with another storm. Thank God for the $1 poncho I had stuck in my backpack, because I did not think to bring an umbrella over after yesterday morning, because by the time we got done with TV, the sun was out after the deluge in the morning. But then at the end of the
Quite
day,
a remarkable change in the weather. But I mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, it's just I'm not a meteorologist, but it just seems as if wherever it is, we're located with mountains and things. It's not atypical that we get voracious storms and then it's gone.
Yeah,
I've told the story before. I probably told it the other day with that day back in '87. I think we had the first cancellation. It was monsoon-like, and then it was bright and sunny. There was puddles everywhere as we're all trying to leave, but. So hopefully, we get a nice day of racing. We're off the turf dramatically once again. We saw, Seth, I thought that, I think I said that your number 10 horse, I think in the 9th race yesterday, might be breaking from the rail. And then I modified it, and I would have made a betting line between posts 1 through 3. Your number 10 horse drew post 3.
It was that kind of day, for better or worse. And today,
well,
2, 4, 6, 7, and 10 are off the turf. The quick call will stay on. The 2, 4, 6,
quick
7.
call's the only one left.
Yeah,
That's kind
2,
of
4, 6,
standard
7,
operating
and 10.
procedure.
Yeah. So mark up your programs accordingly for this afternoon. Oh, and a little bit later on, loose on the lead, Steve Bick and I, we have Randy Sarf, part of LSU. They had the nice stakes win yesterday in the Bowling Green with Firebridge, so we'll talk to him. But we're going to have Glenn Kozak on. So we're going to talk, track conditions and track maintenance and, the decisions that are made on days like these. So that's coming up at 10 o'clock. Loose on the lead with myself and Steve Bick.
If you would, who decides on the rail setting? Is it him or somebody else? That's what I would like to know.
I'll ask.
Because, we were, I don't know what year it was, but I can remember the feeling of the first time we came up here, and on opening day, the temporary rails were up, and we're like, well, we've been gone for 10 and a half months, but, and then you could just see the system they had. They did it back at Belmont. They'd come back to opening day at Belmont's fall meet. They had that nice picture, and you see the rails were up, but they have a system, et cetera. So, who makes that call? We're going to find out then today as I'm driving home. Chad Brown wins his 10th. Diana?
He certainly
8 out of the last
9
out of the last 10, right?
Yeah.
Charlie Appleby won a couple years ago. But what I want to point out, certainly from the angle that I look at, 7 of the 10, not the favorite.
Oh, well, we always
and
say
there are some.
It became prominent last year. Look at the other Chad often, which plays out, and you can wind up a little bit of value, perhaps.
I only have notes on about the last. My notes for the Diana only go back to 73, which was, I think, the first year for graded stakes. I think that's right. It's either 72 or 73.
You.
Yeah. Second lowest.
Oh, you mean graded stakes overall? You're right. Yeah, you're right.
The graded stakes committee.
Yeah. I thought you meant that race in particular.
Yeah, no.
No. That's right. 72, 73.
Yeah. And I think it was graded right off the bat. but I can look into that.
deserved,
But
yeah.
second lowest price losing favorite.
Oh.
And I mentioned how when was it Good Cheer lost the Acorn? That was like the lowest losing price on a favorite since '58. So an upset yesterday, a brilliant
Great race.
performance
Yeah.
by Excellent Truth,
Great
the
race.
other Chad.
Yeah, absolutely. Also notable between the Ortiz brothers, they picked off 7 yesterday. And, we often talk about the Irod Ortiz tax that, you lose some value with an Irod Ortiz. So far, Saratoga, he kicks things off in race number 3 with a $15 winner. Concrete Glory a little bit later in the day that I kicked myself. I didn't make my dark horse. I had to switch up my dark horse. I switched up my dark horse yesterday because it scratched.
It's like the SAT exam. You never change.
And I had to. It scratched.
Oh,
yeah, so I went to another horse. I went to the favorite in that race, and I was talking to Naj Thompson over there, and he and a friend of his were handicapping the race as I walked up. And he said, my friend here likes the 10, Concrete Glory. And I looked, and I had the favorite, and I said, I'm not getting the value I want on a dark horse, but, with the weather and everything. And I turned around, and I looked at the board, and it was 13-1 or whatever. I said, because I had Concrete Glory right underneath, and given I said, I should have made that my dark horse play of the day. And sure enough, comes through at $25 with Irod on board. So he's offering up a little bit of value, certainly at the meet. And as I say, both of the brothers, Irad and Jose, solid yesterday. If you were on board one or the other or both,
they would be second and third in the clubhouse behind Flavor Flav, who was just, the ride and the effort with Excellent Truth yesterday.
Yeah.
When I think if you watch many races, you're thinking she can't win. She's the pro tem leader of the division is on the outside of her and attacking and doesn't get it done.
Yeah.
It was just a tremendous job by horse, trainer, and jockey on Excellent Truth to win the Diana Farbridge, a convincing winner, one of the top marathon, maybe the top marathon male turf runner.
You'd have to think so at this point.
It's just...
And jockey standing, speaking of that, Jose Ortiz on top with 8, Irod with 6, Flavian with 5, and then it goes down to a number at 2. It is a traffic jam amongst the trainers, however, early. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tied with a couple of wins so far early in the meet, obviously.
Yes, as I said, there will be at some point some separation.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it.
Nature of the top-heavy barns we have at Saratoga, if there's bountiful turf racing, helps some.
Usually.
What's that?
Usually.
Yeah. I know this, we had 2 outstanding turf stakes races yesterday. We had off the turf. We had a muddy sealed or sloppy sealed racetrack for the dirt racing. But I just want to point out that and I know this horse sort of check with horse only paid $560, but Jose Ortiz's ride on Gilded Kraken. I implore you to watch the replay because to me, I know in a race that short field of 4, but what he did going to the lead, and I've said this before about the teletimer. Just watch how the horses are running. He just bottomed out the field almost by running and running and running, and then he got a breather, I think, from about the half-mile pole to about the 3/8 pole, and boy, he had so much left to really dominate the favorite in the race, who, if you're looking through trip handicapping, you're thinking is sitting right behind in the catbird seat. But Jose just kept clicking off racehorse times. I know it said 47 and change, 111, I believe, and change, but that horse was running. And it was a master class, kind of a modern term now, in race riding to me, in a race where you're thinking, it's a 4-horse field. You could just look at Katie Davis is ranging up on the outside, just gutted her, the horse. I mean, just the way he didn't play the cat and mouse game. He put a runner, and I just want to make sure it was a 1X race. I just thought while watching it, I'm like, this is genius. This is, like I said, I know the horse paid $560. I know it's a 4-horse field, and I know it's an off racetrack. But please go watch race number 9. And in my opinion, that was just as good a ride as you would want. And I mean that from a tactical standpoint. He just, and I'm sure, I forget who was riding the 4. Maybe Louis Size, the 10, I mean. Had to be thinking at the 3/8 pole, I'm right here. I mean, you're watching the jock holding and waiting to pounce, and Gilded Kraken never gave an inch.
When they turned for home, to me, it seemed over.
Well, it was over by then.
Yeah.
When they turned for home,
I agree. That
his
it was
chance
like
was the 7/16 pole.
But then they turned for home. It's like, and as you say, it's like, oh, he rode this brilliantly. There's nobody catching at this point.
It was, watching the field, the other two runners just, and I've said this before, if you've ever run track and field, it's about deceleration. He just put them into oxygen debt, and they basically stopped. And I just think it was brilliance on Jose. Like I said, it's a 1X race. It's not the type to be remembered, but I think if you go watch it, and I have always felt that as athletes, and I think they would say it, and handicappers, we all get in a zone. It's like, you see the cat for a while, and then you're wondering, do I know how to pick horses when you go to bad thing? And it's the same for jocks. You make all the right moves, your timing, and sometimes it's a little off and you can't get there. But boy, Jose Ortiz, I thought that race was emblematic. Like you talk about the winds piling up, that's 2-dimensional. But that ride yesterday, to me, is the 3-dimensional, showing that they are dialed in. I just thought it was brilliant.
Start to finish, yeah.
I just was amazed at how brilliant he pulled off that race.
On a day where he had a very good, both of the brothers.
Yeah. And then that's when you start to think that the jocks are moving the horses up. I mean, we all realize that the horse is the vast majority shareholder in the wins, but you got to make the right moves. And he busted out of the gate, took it on. And
Jose also, we're mentioning that we're talking about him in this light. Made just what I think was a great move for him to kind of shift in the wintertime from Florida over to New Orleans. And then the rest of the year, he's down in Kentucky, Churchill. And he has clearly shown that was a very good move with the way he rode at both of those venues this year.
And it probably, we've talked about it before for jocks, you're getting the 7th most live horse in a race. It's hard. So Jose down there is probably riding, first or second in each race, and it probably keeps your skills sharp. I mean, you're mentally and physically, you're like, I'm in 7 races a day. I'm a major player, and that's probably uplifting.
Oh,
it's got to give you a positive, go to work mindset each day. And, I think, I think you're right. I mean, I don't know, it was the agent or him, or it was a collaboration of decision making, but it seems to be bearing fruit.
Yeah, no question about it. Again, wintertime down at the fairgrounds in Churchill, other than, the Saratoga meet, he's checked out in New York. I think I read he and his wife kind of liked the Kentucky area to maybe raise the family and whatnot.
Well,
so that played into it a little bit.
That's one thing on the racetrack that, if you have children, you have to eventually get a school system, and that kind of, as a parent of now a collegiate, the tail does wag the dog for about 16 to 18 years. I am through the tunnel, as they say, but you put your children first. I think good parenting does, and you got to make that sacrifice. I thought, I've never asked him personally, but the MIG always stayed in New York. He's got a good sized family, etc. But Terrific day. Hopefully a good day today.
Great
we wrap
pictures
up
of him
week
on
one.
Twitter with he and the granddaughter now. And so,
What?
Yeah. Migliore, if you look on Twitter, he often has a picture of he and the granddaughter.
Oh yes, he had. It used to be almost always exclusively food, but you're right. Now the granddaughter, well, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I talked to Richard one time about the food. I don't know if we were in California or where, but he told me his haunts that he where he gets his food from, and told me about how he's very much. I think it was his uncle. He told me got him into high end food. Because he doesn't have to diet anymore.
He does pop pictures. There are a few. Who's Catalano? Right, Catalano's a big food guy.
Wayne?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the trainer. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
Good call. Yes, he is. Time. I guess it's not going to be live today. I guess we have the DePaul play of the day with Mr. Big.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
Hey, everybody. Steve Beck back with you for the DePaula play of the day. Capital OTB. Well, 3 plays, 2 wins, and a second. Let's try to keep that momentum going. We're over $1,300 accrued thus far. And we're going to go for the 8-1 shot from the rail in the quick call. It's Jet Sweep Joe, who really seems to be taking the next step as a 3-year-old. This frosted ridgeling for Paul McEntee comes to town with Ben Curtis in tow. If you don't know Ben Curtis, he is a guy on the march, is riding for Asmussen on explosive magnitude. And I like Ben Curtis a lot. 8-1 is a tremendous price. I don't know if we'll get all of 8-1, but Jet Sweep Joe should get a very cozy trip in behind the speed in this quick call. Obviously, 6-5, Governor Sam, George Weaver and Irad, they're very logical, and I get it. But at 8-1, maybe 6-1, even 9-2, Jet Sweep Joe, a terrific key horse. Let's get lucky. The DePaula play of the day. Good luck, everybody. Back with you on Wednesday.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 old man comments. I was thinking as Steve Bick was giving his DePaul play of the day in the quick call, you have to be probably at a minimum 50 years old to remember quick call.
Well,
That always seems like 3 yesterdays to me, but I think anybody in their 40s are like, you might as well be equipoise or something from the early part of the 20th century.
Was I talking to you about it? Somebody here on the set,
maybe
maybe a guest.
I can tell you me or somebody else.
Dick Van Patten.
No, not me.
It was just within the past few weeks. I remember years ago watching The Tonight Show with Dick Van Patten. What if 8 is enough?
Yeah,
you may have to be at a certain age to remember that. But his son Vince, they were both on The Tonight Show one night, and somehow Dick Van Patten was a big horse racing guy.
Yes.
And somehow they got on the subject of horse racing, and Dick said, "Yeah, I'll go to the track with Vince." His then kid, and now Vince is a big poker guy, I guess, because he hosts some kind of poker show on TV. I see. But Vince was a kid at the time. He said, "So I'll go to the track with Vince, and he'll like a horse, and I'll look at the horse, and I'll look at the breeding, and I'll be like, I remember that horse's father. I remember the grandfather. I remember the father." And I thought I was a kid at the time, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And now I'm in that boat now.
Oh, yeah. All my stallions are long gone. They don't even show up in the grand stallions anyway. And the other is, I was looking earlier, and I haven't, but how different the world is, and I don't know how public handicappers did it before my generation, but Friday's card has been drawn. And the opening day of Del Mar, which will be on board with our play of the day for Del Mar's meet, opening day is Friday. They're drawing the card today. So just a great, beautiful world. Ready to get underway Sunday, wrapping up week number 1, Seth?
Yeah.
All right. Been popular, the starting in front of the fans, these mile and an eighth races, which I love.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
but I didn't read
all the business.
I didn't read the promos before. There's not much to do.
Business.
It's just Sunday, but I want to alert people. I have the Pick 3 bankroll. Team has been picked. If you were on the team, you should have been alerted. So we'll certainly and I always like to wait to scratches to come out to put the plays together. But
how you feeling?
On the, I was feeling okay before the surfaces, so we'll see how it plays out now.
Because you get to choose from any of the pick threes, right?
And I have 150, so usually I'll spread around a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'll play multiple pick threes, usually. So we'll see again. So it'll be on the website. We typically tweet out the play, so you can check. And if you're not on the team, just kind of root along, hopefully. But I do want to remind you that knockout challenge today.
I trust it's redrawn each time.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a new team every time.
A new team.
It's every other Sunday. So if you didn't get on this Sunday, 2 weeks from today, it opens on a Thursday right before. So there's a new team drawn. So, yeah, great point there. And again, it is the Knockout Challenge Day, Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany.
And on a personal note, all of my sisters are older than me, but the youngest of the 4, it is her birthday today. So happy birthday to my second favorite sister. I don't think that's the part you're supposed to say out loud, but we've become very close over the years as I have matured. And my brothers will be in 2 days and mine will be in 3 days. So we are always grateful that our oldest sister, Marianne, had a mid-October birthday, which gave us mid-July birthdays. I used to tease my parents. They must have been heck of a parties that Marianne's birthday party led to her 3 youngest siblings being born days apart. They denied it, but I'm like, I'm good at math. I'm good at math.
2 of my siblings, May, one the 1st of June, me January. But being 7 years, the youngest, oldest one's 14 years. Yeah, it was. I don't think they're planning it out.
You don't have that connection. We definitely have that connection. But let's get to the races. But happy birthday, Jerry. 3-year-olds and up, maiden special weights going 9.
3, 5, 4, and 1. Chillax, just kind of obvious here for Belmont, coming off a couple of near misses, April and May down in Keeneland and Churchill. So a couple of Kentucky starts. And again, number-wise has, I think, an edge on really pretty much everybody in here with the last 2 numbers down at Churchill. So again, kind of master the obvious here. But on some numbers that are right in the ballpark, Secured Lender goes out for Chad and Klarovich, always a dangerous team up here. And I think if you're looking for an alternative, Flavian Prat on board, that is certainly one worth a look, particularly with the horizontals and classicist in the 3rd spot. Hasn't been seen since last year, but goes out for Todd Pletcher. Irad Ortiz on board. And the 2 races last year I thought were okay. They were 1-turn races. Now it comes back at 2 turns. This one's very interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how the odds shake out. It's not one of those races as well. All 3 of these, I think, to me, are attractive and interesting, but the odds are a little bit separated. Chillax 7-5. Secured Lender's actually the 3rd choice at 3-1. In between those 2 is Classicist. I'm going to be intrigued to see how the betting public lines up leaning. But in the opener, 3, 5, 4, and 1.
I agree with you. I'm going to be intrigued at the betting windows in here. As I looked at this race, Seth's trifecta is, they're the major players in this race, and I couldn't separate them very much. But so at the end, I went 6-1-3, and my thought was that Kavanaugh, my top pick, without any question, has to run the best race of the young career to beat the big 3, as it were. And my reach for this was, as I mentioned yesterday, Malibu Moon to me is the premier moisture in the racetrack stallion. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he pops up. Wasn't he the stallion of Orb who won the Derby in the slop? But Malibu Moon, trust me, Silver Deputy from about 1992 to 2000 was kind of it, and now to me it's Malibu Moon. So I'm hoping the moisture in the racetrack is there, and I'm hoping that's the variable that gets me to run about 6-7 points faster in a huge upset. 2 races back is the best race that I'm clinging to. I have from the rail sturdy underneath, just thinking that their advantage might be a good trip around the racetrack and has numbers at Gulfstream going 2 turns and then the 3. So 6-1-3 in a tough opener for the horizontal players.
Race number 2 this afternoon. Again, it was scheduled for the grass, and again, off the grass today, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 7, and 10 off. The quick call is still on, but that means race 2 is off the turf. Optional claimers, non-winners of one other than, and just a quick look, no one is in for the tag, so they're all in for the condition. Your thoughts in race number 2?
Now, that might be something we talk about the form. We'd like to see that.
Yeah. That's a nice point.
This is a 1X race at the end. And once again, I think just that bullet would be enough to send people to thinking that it's different than what it was. I was rather successful yesterday in playing my second favorite game, which is Who's Coming Out, about an hour before they do. There were bountiful ones. Now, with this one, I have to tell you, Seth, I'm thinking about the same thing, that this is going to be a short field. And in this case, I think the MTOs do dominate. I think the MTOs were 2 for 4 the other day. I got to look. I'll look that up. But a couple of the main body horses that stayed in, which I like. But I'm thinking competitive market. Maybe they'll stay in. This is going to be a mile race. So this is an offspring of competitive market. I'd be inclined to stay in. You got Cantheros on the bottom.
Working well down in Monmouth on the main
I
track.
don't think the 2 is staying in. That's a stakes horse. They're not going to maybe. I don't think Notable Exchange is staying. I don't know. To me, it's all the AEs, 8, 1A, and 9.
The Mike Deeney horse might stay in. The career debut was
you got to tell the audience first time you said his name.
I'm a big Deeney fan. Down in Tampa, in particular, in the wintertime.
I think you're president of the fan club.
But the debut was a win on the dirt, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that one stand. And for me, I parse out, and I'll give my dirt picks in just a second. So I have the turf picks and then parse out the dirt picks that go on the one sheet. But I look at, obviously, you first look at the MTOs, but then you just look for if there's some career experience on the dirt. But a horse like Competitive Market, who you mentioned, only 3 starts all on the turf. But then you look at the workouts, and if the workouts are okay on dirt, then I think, maybe that one will stay in as well, and you're doing a little guesswork. But you look at the breeding, and if the workouts are okay, connections can sometimes do it as well. So there's a little bit to going into picking who you may use and who you might not on the dirt. MTOs always jump out, though. So I went 8, 6, 1A, and 9. Table Flirt is on the MTO list for Bill Mott and comes in off a nice try last time right up here at the mile trip. Second spot will go with number 6. This one was in the body of the field. Chad Brown runner. First 2 starts have been on the dirt. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one stick in and run well because the first 2 starts were okay. And then again, back out to the MTO list, the 1A Chad Brown runner as well. But again, getting the surface they want. The race 2 back, the maiden breaker was pretty good. So on the main track, so we'll use that one also. In the second, kicking off an early pick for 8, 6, 1A, and 9 on the dirt.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more from the spa.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
And welcome back. As a golf cart hits the brakes, it's
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. I have to say, for a couple of years, I just show up. I'm in charge of nothing. You know, when water stops running downhill, I'm the next level down. But it opened and makes so much fun. I know it's not the best television; you can't see it, but
It is entertaining.
it is entertaining. I hope us being entertained entertains the audience.
Was it my show alone, or were you in here the day the horse almost came in the tent?
I was here.
Yeah,
right there, left-hand side.
We did not have the opening, but we had the front opening, and you could hear, "Hey ho ho!" And we realized the horse.
That was the day. I think I said on air, this could get really hairy. That was he stood. He looked in, then he stood, and they came and got him. But that was
him
the
coming
moment.
in the tent would not have been a good situation.
And I guess probably up here, just a round number. This is probably be near 1,000 shows. That was the one. Yeah. So it's 1/10 of 1%. I'm going to introduce the third race, but I want to say something, Seth, before you take the ball. 3-year-olds up, maiden claimers, 20,000 mile and 8. The buyer par, just I like to use this for 73. Seth, I have to tell you, I have never seen a group of racers. There has to be a trainer on the grounds that is thinking, why didn't I enter here? These horses are like two things. They're like 20 points away from the mean to begin. And I highlighted, Seth, and I'm going to show you. I honestly don't think I've ever come across this. I highlighted the final running position for all the horses. I've never seen this at Saratoga. They're all, almost each horse, their final running position, I am not exaggerating here.
Yeah.
Nearly every single race, they're double digits behind the winner. There's a couple that aren't, but I'm telling you, I have never seen a field that is so evenly matched, but so far below the par and I've never seen it. I have to tell you.
Bunch.
Yeah, well, you're a good person. So I'll be intrigued.
I was alluding to that.
I won't be shocked, Seth, if we don't have 6 of the 7 covered. Let's put it up and see, because I've never seen anything like it.
I'm 4, 6, 1, and 7. And
we doubled up on the 1.
I played into your thought with what is a small change GP Jeep? I'm going to see what Frank Miramonti does with that. I meant to look it up. Regardless, the number 4, because adventurous is even money in a field like this, and a big question mark. So, I
have to interrupt. This has to be. I can't wait to interrupt. This has to be the most question mark horse race that's ever been here.
Yeah, well, it's certainly it's.
I mean,
somebody is going to have a huge jump forward. Well, it's going to have a huge jump forward just on the finishing position, but not talent-wise, definitely. But this is a turf-to-dirt mover. And again, I was looking for one that's maybe a little more lightly raced and has a little blue sky and has some question marks yet to be answered on the surface, and that's the case here. So class dropper, lightly raced, turf-to-dirt. I'll go in that direction. Adventurous, I get it. The last number stacks up with this bunch very well, but the last number was on the turf. I don't blame you.
No one ever gets like a 12 on the turf. I do not trust turf numbers to transfer to
that said,
I like the other ones.
Yeah,
the 39 and the 57.
The 57 down at Gulfstream was live in with this group as well. But to go maiden special weight down to 20,000 for a horse they paid $500,000 for. It is Mike Rapoli and Todd Pletcher. We'll take some action, but boy, do I want even money on a horse like that with a big question mark. Belmont Union could be a player as well. Also has tossed in a couple of numbers that can compete with this bunch. So for me, 4, 6, 1, and 7.
Listen, I'm 3-5-1. I took a 15-1 shot that has 1 race, 3 races back. I mean, I have nothing. If your thought is adventurous, first time in for the tag, which is a powerful angle, that's fine. Even money isn't fine, in my opinion, because the 2 dirt numbers are who he is. And maybe the 57 is good enough, but if you have a strong opinion in the third, and I guess adventurous, but boy, that is as shaky and even money shot, but a very unique field, in my opinion.
Well, you said unique. I said modest. So there we are. They're off the turf in the 4th. Maiden specials. Again, they were scheduled for a mile on the grass, but we're on the main track.
The money will still be green. I mean, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to hit it, but I took a 15-1 shot. 5-3-2 were my thoughts on the turf. We haven't had very many also eligibles. I think about 5 maybe through Sunday. We've had a lot of MTOs, but who's Yankee Doodle in this race? In this race. Let me play my favorite game. Everybody should stay in going the mile. I got to think the 8 Practical Joke, Chad Brown, they're going to stay in. I was wrong yesterday. Medici Road, the slop try, it's not going to be sloppy. I couldn't even guess who's going in, but I know the MTO, I don't think is helpful. I mean, let's do a little bit more thing. I think the 1's coming out. But why would you just stay in? You're 30-1. You got blinkers. Maybe it'd be a 5-horse field, and you stay in. I don't know if Chad's going to run number 3. Say Yes to Dreams. First time United States for the import. All night revival after that dirt debut. I don't think is staying in. Maybe Mark Henning tweeted us whether Sugar Run's going to stay in for us. Cleopatra's Key. To me, I don't. Bossy Dish to 6 would be where I think we'll stay, and I would settle at a price that I can't describe based on the field size. But good luck.
Yeah, I probably should have had it's one of those races where I essentially left everything the same. I put the 14 down at the bottom, in the 5th slot down at the bottom, just not knowing who would scratch or whatnot. But I had Rudy in here, and he kind of gave a little thumbs up to Bossy Dish. I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't shooting up flares or anything, but now I think on the surface probably does move up a little bit. So I probably should have put that one in my dirt selections. But as I say, I kept it the same because there was nothing jumping out at me regardless. 8, 12, 4, and 3. Scarlet's Halo tries the dirt for Chad Brown. But again, there's a couple of workouts underneath there that are okay. If they stick, that one's interesting. Magnum's Microburst. First couple of starts of the career were on the dirt. They clearly weren't as good as the turf. So David Donk may elect to go out, but I was kind of counting on maybe the horse just got better with experience. And if we get back to the dirt today, maybe offers up a little something better. And Sugar Run last time, dirt start was okay, comparatively speaking.
Right.
And so that one sticks. So again, I have it 8, 12, 4, and 3, and the 14.
I will say that the 11 Marital Trust, I'd be interested in, because I can't take the lone career start because it didn't run again. That was July 28th of last year. Gets Lasix, and I have Malibu Moon on the bottom. I have Not This Time on top, so that would be interesting to me.
Good workout coming in.
Right, and that workout. So I would be in the neighborhood of 6, 11, and 2 in the 4th. Good luck to the horizontal players. The double, the pick 3, the pick 5 coming out.
Although
of that
it might
third,
become a clearer after
when the
scratches.
Yeah. Good point. On to the 5th. Claimers going 6.
7, 1, 3, and 8. Amundsen on top. Goes out for Rob Atris. Decent little record on a wet track. 10 starts, 4 wins. We'll see how the track is by the 5th race this afternoon. But claim 2 back for 25 out of a win. State bred 25. Then went into an open 25. Won. Now comes back again at 25. So this is one of those where I say, why not right back? They've already put some money in the bank. They run well and get claimed today. They're in great shape. So I think this horse is in a good spot here. Paxational in the 2nd spot. Brad Cox trainee. second off the claim, 1 for 30 claimed out of that 2 starts back. Then up here, Belmont Stakes weekend, they moved up to optional claimers. So a little saltier company. Ran okay, but now they moved back down to maybe a more proper level, certainly a more competitive level. And then Kunshin Bridge, I had the Sport of Kings guys in here yesterday. They part own this horse and taking a little class dip here. Could be a little interesting on that move. 7, 1, 3, and 8.
8, 3, 7. To me, I will say, after a couple of races that are just mind-boggling to me, which, by the way, I like. I don't mind the head scratchers, the skull busters. I'm like, invite it. Your top pick, I think, is going to get really bet at the windows. I mean, really strongly bet.
On the numbers.
The numbers, as you've taught me, rightfully so, is just so powerful. And I think after people going through 2 races that they didn't feel comfortable sinking their teeth into, the 7 is going to be quite attractive. I'm hoping Jim Ryerson, just pulls an upset on a horse that I think is going to improve off of that mile race, shortening up on 8, 3, 7.
Race number 6 this afternoon. Again, it was another one that was scheduled for the turf, but moves to the main track. We're looking at maiden 2-year-olds. Again, it was scheduled 5.5 on the grass, now on the main track.
And I'm okay with this. I like the 10 here. 10, 3, 4, golden rule. I've said this before about Golden Sands. I know I haven't said it this meet. For a horse that won back-to-back dirt miles, and it was the early part of the dirt miles when people were poo-pooing it as a Breeders' Cup race, he has been a very good stallion. He's been a better stallion than a horse that won consecutive Breeders' Cup races. I think they stay in and they give it a go. I think we're staying in with Luis Saez. I'm on the outside stacking Brooklyn Styles, an offspring of Munnings. I think we're staying in. And then I have Todd Pletcher's 4, blinkers on, second career start. I don't think you're going to get 8-1 there, but I like 10, 3, 4.
So those are your turf picks.
Yeah.
So you can tell Dan down in the studio. You can put them up because I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, you can leave them. I'm very comfortable.
I kept my turf picks as well.
I might be happier.
So I have a 10, 5, 7, and 1. The 8's a little bit interesting, but this is also my dark horse play of the day, and I'm good either way. If they stick in, if they scratch, I will post a redo. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they stick in either with the 10. So my dark horse play of the day is number 10. As you say, by Golden Sense. Golden Sense is a good sire of win early runners. The dam produced a couple of win early types. Crown Imperial won the career debut. Raining Flowers, second, a win, a third, and a win. So in the first 5 starts of the career, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So I thought there was win early breeding. John Ortiz can get them ready. But that late June workout down at Keeneland, 47 and change, best of 67, I thought that was live for this horse. So, again, if they stay in, I'm still going to be okay with this one as the dark horse play of the day. Race number 6, horse number 10, Golden Rule, brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile and Impressions of Saratoga, both right on Broadway in downtown Saratoga. Beyond that, the number 5, Augustinian, goes out for Mark Cassie. Second start, just missed in debut, beaten favorite that day. Sibling called Catalina Royalty won the career debut. Other siblings weren't as much, but this one has already got the start under the belt. It kind of validated this one maybe win early as well. And then in the third slot, I'll go with Free State. Kevin Rice trainee, the lone racing sibling Freedom Trail won the first 2 starts of the career. Caravaggio on top was interesting. We'll see if they stick, however. But in the 6th race, I have a 10, 5, 7, and 1.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, the late pick 4.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from Clare Court alongside Seth Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino, and Seth, as much as the 6th race, I was very okay with the surface change with my horses. I cannot say that for the 7th State Breds. It's now going to be a mile on the dirt. And, the first, playing the game, who's staying, I think this is a race that I think we'll lose half of the main body.
I stuck with my top 2 on top and then used some NTOs. I had a 2-1 on the turf. I'm 2-1, 16, 15, and 14 otherwise. But I thought Bosun for Joe Sharp, improved on the turf, but the first 2 starts on the dirt were okay. And again, they were the first 2 starts of the career. So may just be improved now. We'll see. If they stick, I think Bosun is okay. Little Lang also has some dirt starts underneath that I will be competitive in here. So I'm going to use those 2 and then go out. And the MTOs just didn't jump off the page at me necessarily, but Refua looks okay. Leo's Reward in the 2nd spot. And Linda Rice is so crafty when she does the MTOs. I may regret putting Just Licorice as low as I did, but on the numbers, I went in the direction of the other 2 MTOs. So for me, in the 7th, 2-1, 16, and 15.
I agree with you on both parts. I don't know that the MTOs give me clarity. So we'll wait for the scratches and go from there. 7th race off of the turf, which is too bad because it looked like it was going to be a terrific, really competitive race.
8th race this afternoon. We're looking at lower level claimers, 12.5 tags, 3/4 of a mile.
Seth, I was literally looking at this race the other day, and at the exact moment of I want to hit a thing for the folks so I can dial this in for them. So my point is I'm 897 as you can see, but so I'm handicapping this card, and all right, it's gonna take too long. So intermittent fast, 6 furlongs, Churchill Downs, 20 and change. Long run up at Churchill Downs. About the only place you see 20 and change is Monmouth in the old days on dirt and Churchill. And literally as I'm looking at this race, so I'm thinking maybe Thursday, a turf race for us went 20 and change. So I think the fastest opening quarter mile on dirt was registered by a Dale Romans runner in a juvenile race that City Zip won. I think Dale Dancing Missile or something. I don't know. But I'm 897 here. But I just wanted to point out that the 20 and change on dirt at Churchill Downs, it doesn't happen every day. But I think it's a 120-foot run up. It's one of the longest ones there is. So I don't know that it's as eye-popping, but I just wanted to bring that to your information. I think the race is wide open. Consider intermittent fast is 9-5 on the board. I have Scarborough for fair first off of the claim. You talk about Joe Sharp. Joe Sharp trained the Kraken horse yesterday. Gone in forgotten off of the $25,000 claim, comes back down lowest level to date, and then intermittent fast. This is the 2nd start. Now that was May 15th, so they've had plenty of time to recover. But that was a gut-wrenching debut off the bench, 897.
I'm 9, 7, 4, and 5. Your top pick, Scarborough Fair, In Front Racing. I met Howie, the main guy behind In Front Racing yesterday, and he says he watches from New Jersey. But I said, I'll pull him in
The
and
Garden State on board.
Pull him in and have him talk a little bit about In Front Racing. Sounds like a fun little outfit.
Absolutely.
So he said he'd be happy to do it. But I had a nice conversation with him and talked a little bit about his trainer, Dan Ward. I was a little iffy on the horse. Hasn't been seen on the workout tab since February, although maybe somewhere else. But I didn't use Scarborough Fair. But again,
those things don't bother me anymore. Seth.
No, I did, and I get it. But certainly having met Howie, rooting for that one. But I put Gone and Forgotten on top. I just thought it was going to class up nicely with this bunch for Linda Rice. Claimed 3 back for 25. Ran second there. A couple of fourth-place finishes against a little bit better than today. So I think at this level should be a player. Intermittent Fast. I mean, this horse has shown some talent. So to drop in for 12.5, I was just a little bit leery about that move. Mike Maker trainee with Ricardo Santana on board. His first start of the season was that blast off and then fade. But why drop? I just had question marks, so I couldn't put it on top. Altered Shot in the third spot. Another one making a class move. Like my top pick. Class move for these two, I think, is logical. So those are both players with the slight drop. In the 8th, 9, 7, 4, and 5.
Quick note. It was the Coronation Cup was going off. The race that was won off the pace by Italian Soiree at $30 and change. That the opening quarter mile went 20.99. Take a quick break. When we come back, the final Daily Double.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Handicappers Report. And if you're 48 years of age or younger, Quick Call was 4-star Dave before 4-star Dave. He was a Sid Waters runner, Saratoga maven.
Yeah.
Back-to-back Forgos, and they were dynamite races.
I think he's buried right back here.
I think he is one of the ones, but he was, I would say, the first stakes level Saratoga horse for course that, just they came up here, and whether it was Sid Waters' timing or whatever, but you can look it up on Equibase, and it just jumps out how Quick Call loves Saratoga, and he has the 9th race named after him.
I have a 2, 4, 6, and 7. Number 2 is Governor Sam. I think this horse is legit as the favorite. Tried the off the turf for last time and ran 4th, but an okay 4th. But I think is better on the turf. And I'd say these turf sprint stakes, they're specialists, and this guy has kind of proven that. George Weaver is going well lately, and so I think this horse is legitimately live and has an edge. Now, a little bit of an edge, but I think it is an edge on this bunch. No evidence for Miguel Clement. Hasn't been seen since mid-April at Gulfstream, but when last seen was running well, very lightly raced. I think there's some upside for this one. Would not be a shock for me by any means. Insubordination in the third spot. Another one of Weaver's horses. He has 3 in here. He has 4 in. No, he has 3 in here.
He'd like to have
with
4
with the MTO.
because he had the race over the barrel.
Yeah,
maybe.
But Insubordination, I think, comes in off a third in a stakes race down at Belmont at Aqueduct. And another player, and Ortley Avenue had Dan Collins from Bonaventure in, and they said they're going to take the shot in here. Another Weaver trainee, but being lately raced and second career start, running second. We showed that the replay of that when we had Dan on the other day. That was a nice try, and this one probably has to improve a little bit, but not much. And I think it is eligible to do so in the third career start. So 9th race, the quick call, 2, 4, 6, and 7.
And other than the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, which, should not be set aside, other horses have run numbers that are close enough to Governor Sam, who's going to be probably a short price as he is in the morning line. And this is a perfect example of, just the way Seth and I come at races differently. I completely agree that the race goes to Governor Sam as a starting point, but I have 4 more horses that are live. I think Dan's Ortley Avenue is live in this race. He's not even on the board the trifecta board for us. And maybe Insubordination will be the same thing as last time, that we're just, when everybody quickens, I can't quicken enough, but I get to ask more questions at 8-1. So I look for an upset here in a race that I think is 4 deep minimum. Governor Sam at 6-5 of the morning line isn't a top pick for me, but as I said, you can't throw out the grade 1 race, but all the rest of the numbers are with the rest of the horses. So no evidence is my third pick, but 6-2-4 in the quick call.
10th and final, we'll go off about 6:15. We're looking state-bred maiden claimers scheduled on the grass at a mile, but again, it is off the grass going to the main track.
If I could see your PPs, I don't know when you download, just the first page. I want to see. Okay. I'm 2-10-8. The 2, and listen, my pencils have erasers also. The 2 was not 140-1 in the last race up here at the Belmont meet. It's just a decimal point thing. We were 14-1, not 140-1, 14-1. First time in for a tag now. Vino Samara is my top pick, but just a quick note. It's and I think that's relevant. I mean, that's where the
very relevant. I didn't even look at it though, but
okay.
Yeah,
they don't. So that's my top pick. I thought that was an okay effort, but the type of effort dropping in for a tag now, it's the biggest drop in the sport.
If I'd noticed, I would have gone back and looked too, because it just looks like,
it's
how could that be?
First off, there aren't horses 140-1 anymore. Maybe if you're the absolute outsider in the 14-horse field in the Breeders' Cup, you might be, but I'd like to see a list of the 140-1 shots in maiden special weights across the United States. So 2-10-8 for me.
I also went with the 2 on the main track, 2, 7, 15, and 16. Again, the main track onlys did not jump out at me, but I used them at the bottom of the mix. But Vino Samara, I think, has some dirt for him that is going to put this horse in a good spot with the surface width. Second position for me, number 7, Calling an Audible. It's only dirt form, and the last race was a near miss. So I think they're in fine position too. And then I put the 2 MTOs underneath in the 10th on the main track, 2, 7, 15, and 16.
All right, that wraps up the Handicappers board. Steve Bick is already here. That'll be loose on the lead in just a moment. We were talking off the air at the last break. I'm not saying in a jacket and tie like us and Steve, but boy, you come up in a pair of shorts and a shirt. It's really, for me, a perfect day, because the sun won't be beating on you, and you can walk around. It's going to be very enjoyable. I've always found Sundays to be an enjoyable day at the track.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
traditionally kind of last day of the week, when it was still the 5-day week, Mondays, where it seems a little quieter and a little more relaxed. Racing's still good.
I agree.
And I think you nailed it there. That last day of the week has always been kind of a fun day.
All right, so enjoy your Sunday racing. And remember, Friday's card has been drawn. He stays, I go. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great Sunday.
Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com. the premier online wagering site in New York State, CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.